Let's go.
Dr. Rosie Milligan, one of the most sought-after speakers on the circuit today. Her live internet talk show, Express Yourself, is the most provocative, thought-provoking, and talked-about radio show on the internet. There's no holds barred, and Dr. Milligan puts the B in bold. She brings it every Tuesday live at 10 a.m. Pacific and 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Dr. Rosie has been proclaimed the most provocative female writer of the century. Her books include Satisfying the Black Man and Black Woman Sexually Made Simple, Why Black Men Choose White Women, and the book Nigga Please. These books have raised eyebrows across the country. She has authored 21 books and published 350 titles for authors nationwide. Check Dr. Rosie out at drrosie.com for her books, articles, and archives of her internet talk show. Sit at the feet of wisdom. Dr. Milligan is indeed a timekeeper and scorekeeper. She is the clock, calendar, and almanac for Black America. You need to hear her.
Sunshine. You listen to the Express Yourself Hour. I am your host, Dr. Rosie Milligan, coming to you live with nothing but straight talk. Yes, that's how we do it around here, folks. Nothing but straight talk. I have two wonderful co-hosts, none other than Shawana Bordenay. She's a real estate guru. She buy houses, sell houses, flip houses. This girl does everything you can do to houses. Good morning, Shawana.
Good morning, Dr. Rosie. I do everything to houses.
Okay. Do you clean houses?
Oh my God, I love
I
it.
know you don't clean houses. You pay folks to clean houses. But anyway,
but you know, I love it. You know what I love, Dr. Rosie? What? You know what I love is when I drive down the street and I'm like, oh my God, did you see that house? Stop, let me get it. Because, you know, it's a raggedy house out of all the other houses, but I just see beauty in it. So I just love renovating those homes.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. That is so good. Well, welcome back. You've been away for a while. And my other co-host is Mr. Keith Swanson, the AI man. I don't know if he's with us or not. If not, he'll be joining us. Keith, are you out there? Well, I guess he's not. I guess he's out there playing AI, doing what he does, you know. So people, watch out for somebody or something. You don't know what it's about or who it is. It just might be Keith Swanson. You guys, we have a great show for you today, as we always do. I'm so excited about my guest today. Number one, I'll tell you what we'll be talking about. Then I'll tell you who my guest is today. My guest today, our topic is the future is in her hands. 5 top reasons investing in young girls is vital to building a thriving community. I say that because we always hear conversation about what black boys are doing, what they're not doing. There's no talk about what is happening to black girls. And it's really a critical issue. Our young girls are the most unvalued resource in our community. So we're going to look at how does investing in young girls directly affect crime rate, family stability, and economic growth. And what happens to a community when its girls are neglected or under-supported. Folks, it's time to look at what is happening with our girls. My guest today is none other than Mrs. Delores Williams. She is the president of this wonderful organization, God's Ladies in Charge. And she is rearing up and mentoring some young women in this city who have gone on to take outstanding positions in the film industry, just all over. I mean, Shawana, I had them on the show Sunday, and this is what's really important. One young lady said that when she was told about God's Ladies in Charge, she didn't really want to go to the program. She said, "But my mother made me go." To insist, push. No, let me just put it like my dad would say. Now, just in good push, make. Let's put those words. We need to make them be a part of something that you know is going to be good for them. Because young people tend, even when it comes to food, if it's food they haven't tried it, I don't like this. Have you tried it? No. They tend to want to do the same thing over and over, and many of them are not daring enough to try something different. So from that testimony, I'm saying to those who are listening, when you know there's something good for your child, you need to compel them. Not say, well, almost it's up to them. You know, if they don't want to go, no, it's no if they didn't want to go. You know, when you were coming up, you had to go to Sunday school. Didn't nobody wake you up and say, y'all want to go to church? That's why we are better spiritual, we are better emotional, self-sustaining, because someone took the guts. A parent said, I'm the parent and you're the child. That's what I'm talking about. So good morning, Miss Delores Williams. How are you today? And thanks for joining us.
Good morning. Thanks for having me. I am really looking forward to our conversation, and we will be drawing people in. And like you said, they are real. Our young girls have really been neglected. But guess what? We're about to change that, right?
I understand. Absolutely.
We won't be making that confession anymore. We are going to make a difference not only in their lives, in the community, and when that happens, we'll see a whole different world.
Absolutely, absolutely. When we look at, we're going to look at how long you've had the organization?
Well, overall, I've had the organization for, I would say about 20 years, off and on. But I can't give up on it. We had a different name at one time, and now it's been God's Ladies in Charge for about 18 years now.
Okay. Well, I was so impressed with the young people that you brought onto the show that I had Sunday. It's just a testament to what you're doing and how important it is. It is so important. We're going to look at the fact, some key points. When girls become strong, the economic impact, empowered girls leads to stronger local economy. Why? Because they were empowered, they will go ahead and go to school, they'll go to college, or they'll get in some type of vocational program. They'll be able to take care of themselves. They'll be able to take care of their families. They'll be able to marry the person in their life that they have a love for versus someone who's making more money, who can support them, who can buy them a car. These are the girls who seek to buy their own cars. They are reinvested. 90% of their income are being invested back to their families and members and community. Now, so we have to start equipping young girls with entrepreneur life skills. How to be an entrepreneur, how to be whatever you be on a job. And also, another key point, number 2, is breaking the cycle of poverty. Because these young girls, education and mentorship can disrupt the cycle of poverty. Because number 1, they see women who are doing things, women who look like them. Oh, I didn't know women could do this. They will break that poverty of cycle. And don't we need to break that poverty cycle? When girls thrive, their entire families and communities are lifted. So we need to look at, are we giving them the tools they need to succeed? They become community leaders. Girls of tomorrow, fostering leadership skills, building future, diverse voices, mental and emotional well-being when you invest in them. And last but not least, generational change. I can't say that enough. Educated and empowered girls become mothers who value education. I mean, their children will become educated because they will see the need. They will rise above the welfare system. They will break the cycle of poverty in their family. They will be more in tune to better health and equality. And they will pass what we put in them folks. They will pass it on to their children. Now we are building a generation of women who will change the community and thus the world. That's why, Ms. Williams, what you're doing is so important. It's so vital now that we take a look at what's happening to our young girls. When we start talking about what's happening to young black men, do you realize that if we empower our girls, they can teach these young men a lesson? I don't need your money. I'm not going to allow you to move in with me because you got drug money. I got my own money. I'm not going to allow you to sleep over my kids because I need you to help me pay my rent. And then the young man would say, I'm going to go ahead and go to college because I'm not going to buy a new car just to impress the girls for them to jump in the car with me. She'll wonder, do you guys see where I'm going with this? Girls can change the dynamic of what's happening with boys.
Oh, yes, I definitely see. Definitely.
Yes,
and
go ahead.
I most definitely see. I am sober impressed that I hear every word coming out of your mouth. It's my same emotions, doctor, that I felt the same way, and I feel that way. And you have tapped into it. You've tapped into every vein of it, because we have to make a change. We can't continue to accept a society the way that it is. And it's not only the society, it's because of under resources and things like that. We have to find a way as a community to get everything that's out there. And there's many things out there that we have not ever tapped into. And if we do it as a community to make sure we won't be overlooked because we're out there looking for it.
Well, I think that is absolutely the key, because those who listen, this is not just about the girls. It's about the future of all of us, because what happened is to a community when these young girls are neglected, under-supported, it's not a good story. So I want everybody out there listening to start. If you have daughters, I want you to start seeking out organizations like God's leading ladies. The reason you need to seek them out because you want a betterment for your girls. And sometimes when they are under mentorship, here's the interesting thing. Things you've been saying to them over and over about safety. When you leave home, make sure that someone in this house know where you are headed to. Why the kids think that's not important? Well, I got to tell mama because if something happens, sweetheart, and you don't show back up, at least mother know where you said you were going. They know where to start looking for you. But what happened? You think your mother, she's just old and fogeyism and just not up with the time. But when you get in a mentor program, and that mentor is sharing with you some of the same belief that your mother have talked to you about, then your eyes widen and you say, oh, that's the same thing my mother said. Parent, get your children into a mentor program, somebody who can help them. Because really the people who are mentoring them is their peers. And they don't know any more than they do. When they're in trouble, who do they go to? If they can't come to their mom, they're talking to their friends on the street. If you have a program like what Miss Williams have here, your girls can be a part of that. And they will learn from other girls that my mom is not the only one who act like that. Have you guys ever felt that, Shawana? I thought that my mom was the only one out of the box.
No, your mom's not the only one. I think all of our moms, and you do hear all the time you're fighting your parents or your mom and telling them no, and then you hear from somebody else and you're like, you know what, that's the mom you said. I think that makes sense. Now you realize it really makes sense.
That's why it's so important to be in programs such as God's Ladies in Charge. And someone asked on the show, do you have to be a Christian to be in that? No, this organization was started from a ministry, and
yes.
So they do not discriminate because everybody that goes to church is not a Christian in the first place. I mean, I just have to say that. So they're trying to help. We need to help everybody. Our community is made up of Christian, non-Christian, all types of denomination. But what they have in common is girls that needs to be empowered. I don't care what color you are. I don't care what your religious faith is. You need to be empowered to help change your generation for your children and to help reshape. I'm saying reshape because the community used to be all right. Now, that's been about 50 years ago, but I'm just saying. But we can bring it back to what a community really should be. I'm going to give the number because there are people out there who want to join this conversation, want to have their input, have their say, or ask a question. You can call us here at 310-928-7733. It's 310-928-7733. If you're at work and don't want anybody to know what you're asking, you can email us at innerlight, I-N-N-E-R, innerlightradio@yahoo.com. That's innerlightradio.com, 310-928-7733. And I think we have a caller on the line. If so, we're going to take that caller now. Caller, go ahead, open your mic, give us your name, tell us where you're calling from, and what's your take.
Good morning. This is Dr. Andrea Anthony. I'm calling from Carson, California.
Good morning, Dr. Andre.
Good morning, Dr. Rosie. I could not help. I did everything in my power to make sure I did not miss getting on today because I believe empowering girls, like you said earlier, is so important. And so I'm just listening today and just being inspired by what's being said. And thank you so much for this topic.
Well, you guys, Dr. Andre, while you're on, can you tell them you are a strong advocate for children? So can you just tell them really what you do? I know you have a book coming out, and you also have a nonprofit organization. Give them the name of your organization.
The name of my nonprofit is Guarded Wings Promise, and the main focus is on the prevention and intervention of childhood sexual abuse, but mainly focusing on the preventative side. So basically, that's what the nonprofit is about: educating families, communities, youth-serving organizations, ensuring that systems are put in place so that children will be protected, but most importantly, educating the parents so that they can put systems in place. I have a couple of books. One that's going to be coming out in the next few months is for expecting and new parents. I believe one of the ways to end childhood sexual abuse is to educate people before they even become parents, to put systems in place to safeguard their children. And then I'll be telling my own personal story as a survivor later on in the year 2025. But I am an educator and I advocate for children. I've been a mentor, a coach. I take a group of about 15 young people to a youth summit every year, boys and girls. That is a foundation, the National Alliance of Black School Educators Foundation. They have a youth summit. I'm a lifetime member. And so I take about 15 young people from Los Angeles County to this youth summit. So I'm just, anything I can do to help when it comes to our children, I'm on board. Count me in. And thank you for the time.
I want you to make connection, your organization make connection with Ms. Delores Williams. One thing we set up was a collaboration of nonprofit organizations, and I think Ms. Williams would tell you that it's been working very well because they collaborated with one of our other partners, and they were able to give food away for Thanksgiving. They are doing things. So I think this is going to be a year that we're going to understand the power of collaboration. Like what I don't have, You have it. I may have the chicken and you have the vegetables. Somebody bring the dessert. That's what we're going to do because we're going to raise these young people out of the degraded condition. And we have so many people now who are pointing that direction. And when you're talking about safeguarding, it's important for us to look to safeguarding at home, from church, from the job, from the street. We got to take it to a whole different level. We must uplift our young girls. So, Dr. Andre, thank you for calling in. You always listen and you bring such great points. So again, I want to thank you. I think we
You're
have
welcome.
another.
Thank you.
I think we have another caller from 626. If we saw 626, go ahead and open your mic if you have a comment or a question, or you might just be listening. Okay, maybe 626 might just be listening. Again, 310-928-7733. 310-928-7733. Folks, we have a big job ahead of us. Today, we are talking about, reasons to invest in girls to transform our community. It makes such a difference. And I'm so proud again of my guest, Miss Delores Williams, who's the president. She's leading the group, God's Ladies in Charge. And I tell you, it's an absolutely dynamite organization. And some of the product from what they have produced through their mentorship has just been incredible. Miss Williams, you want to tell them some of the things the girls are doing who went through your program?
Yes, well, we're doing, getting involved in different community activities, like Sunday, as a matter of fact, we're going to a skilled nursing facility at Centinela. We will be in there giving the seniors Christmas party and those things are important. We need to bridge that gap. When we all get together and change things, it will become a different world. And I keep repeating, putting emphasis on a different world because these young ladies are going to change the world. We all have to have confidence in that. We're looking at the parents. We want the parents to get involved. We can't do it without you. We need you to insist, like Dr. Rosie said, we need you to insist that your children join some type of organization, get involved in community, get involved in helping others, knowing how many of us, they call it gentle parenting. Nowadays, gentle parenting doesn't work all the time. I'm not putting you down or anything like that, but gentle parenting needs to become more stern. We need to get out there and let people know we love these children because this age, 11 through 17, is a developmental age. Mm-hmm. And during that developmental age, they need guidance. They don't need guidance from their peers. And they need guidance from community. They need guidance of people that understand. They don't need to be isolated with, they go into isolation thinking no one understands. And we want to change that. We want to let them know we are there for them. We care for them. And in our organization, we have every generation. We have the older generation. We have the, Gen Z, Gen X, whatever. We want everyone involved. And please, parents, get your children involved in the organization.
Ms. Williams, can you give a phone number out for someone who will listen and really want to get involved with your organization?
Yes, I can give you two numbers, 323-806-2188 or 323-348-6825. And you can call and
repeat those numbers. Repeat those numbers for me.
Okay. 323-806-2188 or 323-348-6825.
Great,
and they will give you all of the information, or you can go to our website. It's God's Ladies in Charge at godsladiesinCharge.org. We also have Instagram. God's
Wonderful.
ladies in church.
Wonderful. Now, what I like about what you said with having these young people to go to the skilled nurse facilities to really entertain the elderly. I mean, this is so important, teaching young people to serve. Shawana, you and I know that is a lost art in many communities, where teaching young people.
Oh my God, Dr.
See,
Rosie.
back in
Totally.
the day, parents would say, "Look, Miss Liz is sick. Go over there and make sure she has some water. Go over there and see if
Yes.
you can do this for Miss Liz." We came up serving. If anybody
Yeah,
know
I
how
have
to
to-
serve, go ahead.
I have to tell you, Dr. Rosie, I was very fortunate, listening to the conversation. It makes me realize that I was fortunate. I was blessed by God, because at age 12, of course, my mother did a fantastic job raising me and helping me be an independent woman. But at age 12, I had 2 jobs. Okay, I had 2 jobs, and one of those jobs was working on Saturday at a boutique. But it was a small boutique where they sold clothes, did lashes, nails, and everything, pampering. And the type of women that came in there was Senator Diane Watson, Maxine Waters. We had attorneys coming in, doctors coming in, real estate investors coming in, all type of entrepreneurs coming in there. And I was 12. And that was mentorship, okay, at its finest, because they told me, you can do whatever it is that you want. You just have to dream big all the time. And I heard this from 12 years old until 17 years old, 18 years old when I stopped working there. But I was fortunate to have mentorship that way, and I think it's really good. And another thing I would love to do, listening to the conversation, a lot of children, as adults, we want to learn how to become speakers, and I think fear of speaking is like one of the worst things. People don't want to get up and speak. But I think if we teach our young children at a younger age to get up there and speak and learn how to voice their thoughts properly, that's a good thing too, mentoring them in the speaking world as well, so that they can learn to have a voice, and it'll push them, in a different direction as well. I think it would be a good idea.
Absolutely. And Shawana, back in the day, and Miss Williams, you understand too, we got a few years probably on Shawana. She's still sucking the bottle.
No, not quite.
Anyway,
not quite.
Shawana, back in the day, young people got this opportunity because they all went to church. They went to Sunday school.
Yes, we did.
You had to learn speeches. You
all
had
went to church every Sunday.
They made you say your speech. Sometimes you got up to cry, but go ahead now.
Yeah.
And even if you messed up.
It's your turn to say the gospel. Your turn to get up there and say, I love getting up there. I'm like, I'll do it. I wanted to hear my mouth on the mic. I wanted to hear what it sounded like.
And you know what?
Loved it.
It gave them so much courage, because even when you messed up, what did your church folks say? Go ahead, baby. That's good. Give them our hand.
Yes. I think it's absolutely amazing. I think it's a great thing, because, I do Toastmasters right now, which is a, program to help people learn how to do public speaking. And I've been helping a lot of people get out there, but they don't have it for children. And I think children are the ones that really need it the most, because could you imagine educating a child at a younger age how to get up there and speak and utilize your voice? Oh, my God, they probably don't want that. But it would be an amazing, thing to do.
It is so powerful. And Ms. Williams, I think you might want to add that component with your organization is a junior Toastmaster. Shawana can help you do it. We'll find some people to help you do it.
Toastmasters does not give it to kids. I'm putting together something for kids. They will not do it under 18.
Well,
I want to put together something, so I would love to talk to you about it. Let's do it.
Yeah, they don't have to do it. We can have a Toastmaster for kids. They do not have monopoly on.
No, they do not. Well, let's do it. I think it would be an excellent thing for them. Oh, my God.
When children learn to use their voice, they may have to go to court one day. They may need to talk to their teacher about a grade that was incorrectly given to them. They need to know how to do it without insulting. They know how to do it gracefully. Yes. Miss Williams, people are always trying to put something extra on you when you're doing something. I know how that feels because that's how they do me. Even when they think of a book, Dr. Miller, you need to write a book on this. No, why don't you write it? Because I'm an author.
Well, you know what? You actually do it. They tell you need to write a book. You're like, you know what? I'll do that tomorrow.
People love to
Dr.
pass
Rosie will do it. You give her an idea, she's going to do it. Dr. Rosie says, I got a book on that. Dr. Rosie, give me a book. Tell him. She is so brilliant, a brilliant lady there.
The good thing
a brilliant mentor. I say a brilliant mentor. She has mentored so many of us. Okay, so many of us.
But the good thing is, the good thing is they are teaching these young people to serve. I want to get back to that. That is so critical. When you have young people now that want to get paid for everything, even kids in the house, can you take the trash out? How much you going to pay me, Grandma? Come on. We got to go back to teach service. It's important. There are other ethnicities that require their children to give service to the church, to their community, to their hall. We got to get back to understand that you don't have to get paid for everything you do. So I applaud you, Miss Williams, for having those young people to start out understanding. Because sometimes when you're just giving free service, you don't know what can come out of it. I've known people who were doing something for free, end up with a job. One lady ended up with a car. You just don't know the power of giving back. So I want to thank you for doing that. I really do. So we're looking forward to that. I think we have another call. If we have another call, go ahead and open your mic and give us your name. Tell us where you're calling from. And this show is going to re-air again at 6 p.m. Tonight. The technician will put it in the queue, and I'll be able to tell you. So I think we have another caller. Go ahead so we can take your call. If not, then we're going to go ahead and start looking at. Well, let me wait and see if there's a call. Caller, go ahead. Okay, caller, we're waiting for you. Go ahead. Let's see what number you're calling from. Okay. Maybe the caller's just listening. Let's talk about what happens when girls in our community are neglected or under-supported. The impact can have a ripple effect through the entire community, manifesting various social, economic, and cultural challenges. So let's look at those challenges. A cycle of poverty and limited opportunities. Why are we saying a cycle of poverty? Because they're not able to get the proper education that they need, folks, and that makes a big difference. I think we have Keith on too. Keith, are you on with us? Okay, I think Mr. Keith joined us. But when girls are neglected, under-supported, it brings about a cycle of poverty, limited opportunity. Without proper support, the girls may drop out of school or perform poorly while they're in school, which limit their access to higher education and better paying jobs. Folks, listen to this. We're talking about the negative impact when girls are neglected or under-supported. We're saying many of them drop out of school, then that limits their education and better paying jobs. So there become economic disparity. This perpetuates a cycle of poverty, as limited education often leads to lower income opportunities. Now, we don't need lower income opportunities for our girls. Why am I saying that? Because it's a proven fact, particularly African American. Someone have their phone open. Please mute your phone, caller. Limited opportunities. We don't need that because we know as high as rent is, we need to push our girls to be able to have a good education so they have the opportunity they need to provide for themselves and their children. Because face the facts, many of our African American young girls who grow up to be women will be single. It has been a proven fact that 60% of black women, at least 40%, will never get married. So, folks, this is some really important information. Push your girls. Let's teach them how to survive in a hostile community. Number one, we said it increases cycle poverty and limited opportunities. When we neglect them, it increases the risk of exploitation. They're vulnerable for higher risks of falling victim to abuse, exploitation, or trafficking. Folks, listen up. That's what we need to support and embrace our young girls. Early pregnancies, because lack of guidance and resource often lead to unplanned teen pregnancies, which can derail their future prospect. Yes, it can. Because now they have to drop out of school because they have to take care of a child. Even if they get a job, it doesn't pay enough for them to pay for child care. Folks, child care is $200 a week. Wow. Are you guys listening? We must embrace our young girls. Number three, reason we must, the deterioration of community well-being, generational impact. Under-supported girls often lack role models or the tools to support their own families, later impacting future generations. Health issues, lack of education resources can lead to poor health choices, increasing community health care burden. And last but not least, the loss of leadership and innovation. Unrealized potential. Some of these young girls who could be doctors, lawyers, presidents, whatever they want to be, scientists, unrealized potential. Neglecting young girls diminish their chances of nurturing future leaders, innovators, and contributors to society. And then you have the gender imbalance. Community miss out on diverse perspective that women bring to leadership, business, and problem solving. All right. I've said all those things to let you know what happens when we fail or when we neglect or under support our girls. Back to you, Ms. Delores Williams. Your thoughts.
I love what you just said, Doctor. Another thing that you mentioned, you did mention looking at others. You know, we do a lot of comparison and things like that. And when we do the comparison, it belittles. It causes belittlement in our self-esteem, you know, because we're always looking to find out why we're not doing, and we don't even have the mindset to do. So that's why it's so important for us to stay focused on our goals and what we're doing in our community and why we would need our children to get involved in, like we said, volunteering. Once you become a person of service, that will become a part of you. And when it becomes a part of you, you're more humble. You're not always expecting. And you look forward to doing things for others. And I appreciate that. I appreciate young girls out here willing to give. Like you said, going to church, we had to participate in church. Now, if they go, it's good. If they don't. But the church is a part of the community also, and that's how these children will make the change. And I thank you.
Exactly. And we also look at the erosion of social fabric and low community morale. When we don't lift them up, when they're not educated, when they're dealing with poverty, someone can come along. And I think Keith joined us. So, Keith, I really want you to see, get your thoughts on this. Then when someone comes by and says, "Oh, baby, you beautiful. I can make you a model. You want a model? Oh, you can make a lot of money." You run home, you tell your mom, she's poverty-stricken. She's glad to hear that somebody's going to do something. My baby's going to make some money. She's going to be modeling. Next thing you know, you're trapped up into a world of trafficking, a world of abuse. That's why it's important for us to uplift, make our young girls feel good about themselves, that they're not left in a hopelessness and disconnected situation. And also, one of the downfall is crime rate. A lack of support and opportunity can lead to increased juvenile delinquency, going into the store, stealing stuff, being around people doing the wrong thing for a few pennies so you can get some, and even substance abuse among neglected youth. Going along to get along, everybody else is smoking. It's the end thing. I don't want to be different. Hanging around with the wrong crowd because you don't feel your self-esteem doesn't lead you to step over to the other side of the track and try to be a part of the girls who are going someplace because you feel less than, so you hang around with those who you feel are less than. So in other words, folks, it's weakening the family structure. Neglect can lead to emotional, psychological challenge, reducing the ability of the young woman to form healthy family bonds. Single parenting struggles. All of these come with it. But what we can do, since we talked about all of this, I want to talk about how to mitigate these challenges. Before I do that, Keith, can you open your mic and let us know what you think about this situation?
Well, the thing is what I've learned, what I've noticed is that
But you have girls.
I have girls, yeah. But the thing is, what I've learned is that women and females need a network more than men do. Okay, because I tell men, how can you tell what a woman's like? I said, pick her 5 best friends, okay, and that's who she is, even more than men. So who a woman is surrounded, who a girl is surrounded by is going to determine what her worldview is and what her outcome is going to be. Just like Shawana was saying, who she was surrounded by, okay, with entrepreneurs and politicians and stuff like that. They determine her worldview and they determine her outcome. You see where she is now, right? Okay,
Right.
the same thing. I noticed that with my daughters, right? The school that they went to, okay, one went to a more of a upper middle class school. One went to a regular school, right? Okay, their first 10 years, you could tell the difference. Okay, I was trying to tell her mother that. I said you can't send her to that school, right? Because she's going to form a network, and her network and her best friends are going to determine what her worldview is. It took her 10 years to come out of that. Okay. And that's what it says. Even more important than a wise man once told me, said, men oppose the environment, right? Women live in the environment. More important than your boys, okay? Your girl has to be put in an environment that's going to make her thrive, okay? And if you don't do that, guess what's going to happen? She's going to absorb everything in her environment because that's what she does. The female absorbs. They take in, okay? Men can resist, men can impose. So you can take a guy and put him in the worst situation in the worst school, and he can get himself out of it. That's not so much true for girls, okay? So you have to surround your girls. You have to surround your black girls with a network of positive women that gives them a positive worldview. That's essential because if you don't, you see what happens when you don't. I mean, you can see the black community when you separate them from that network of people, okay? When we moved to an urban environment, what happened? The girls got separated from their networks. Guess what happened? They went everywhere, okay? They went everywhere, even more than the men. So what you're saying is true, okay? More important than, I said education is fine, right? But more important, who is that girl surrounded by? Who are her 5 best friends, okay? Who's her network, okay? Because women all over the world, they depend on their network more than men do.
Well,
so what you're saying is true.
George Fraser said your network determines your net worth.
Network.
Folks,
it does.
write that down. Your network determines your net worth. And that is so important because, Keith, what happened, back in the day, you guys, I keep dating myself, but I don't care. Yeah, I'm old. I'm not old, I'm seasoned. Let's change the word. I'm seasoned. Y'all know what seasoned is. Okay. So what happened when you are seasoned and you look back and you think about that you lived in the community with the teachers. You lived in the community with the doctors, with the engineers. But then things changed, and when you made a few dollars more than the others, you got out of that neighborhood. So then all of a sudden, there were no more teachers living next door to you. There's no more engineers living next door to you. There's no more doctors living next door to you. You guys understand where I'm going with this? That's why, Ms. Williams, your program is so important. These young people need to be taken over to the marina. They need to, if no more than go over to Ladera. right across the street from them. Go
Mhm.
to Ladera.
Right.
See those homes. See how other people are living. Go to their parks and see how different it
Mhm.
is from yours. Go to their
Yeah.
libraries and see how different it is from yours. Then it'll give them something to aspire. A lot of young girls have nothing to aspire for but to dye their hair, put on a wig, be in
Uh-huh.
competition with the other girls in the community who have the longest hair, who have the biggest booty,
Mm-hmm.
who have the biggest breasts. Uh, that's what they see. That's their mentor. That's their role model. I applaud you, Miss Williams, for what you're doing. Getting these young girls, letting them see something different. Shawana just mentioned she was around politicians. Even if you're just in the workplace around people who are doing, you go, wow, I can do that too.
Mhm.
So, folks, this
You
is so
definitely do.
critical. Mr. Lloyd, give that phone number out again, because people need to be calling you. Give it out slowly, okay?
Okay. It's 323-806-2188. And the other number is 348-6825. And you can call either number. And I just wanted to add, did everyone get that? I stepped on that.
Go ahead, give it again.
Okay. 323-806-2188.
Okay. And not only calling folks, this is a nonprofit organization. When you call, you can also make a pledge, you can make a donation, because it takes money for organization to do all these things for these young women. So we need community support. So we're asking you not only just to call and to send your young people and tell them about it, we want you to also send your donation. And hopefully in the future, Ms. Whedon, you guys can have what we call an open house program for your organization where people can bring their children, parents can come, and young ladies, so they'll get a
Okay.
feel or a taste of what the organization really about. Does that make sense?
Wonderful. That would be great.
Yeah, have an open house. Now, we talked about all the problems. Let's talk about how to mitigate these challenges. Number one, invest in education. Provide scholarship, mentoring, and resources to help girls succeed academically. I think you all do tutoring too, right, Ms. Williams?
Yes, they are tutoring also. Yeah,
Okay.
the reason I said because they send them to it's academic scholarship training, and it's on King Boulevard. I
Okay.
don't know the exact name of it,
But still, you're providing a resource, even if you're not doing it.
yes, we are.
I think we have another call on 323. I want to take that call, and then I will go through the other things, how we can mitigate some of these. 323, open your mic. Go ahead. You have a comment? Okay, 323. Okay, maybe they'll just listen. We talked about investing in education, scholarship. Folks, individually, you can set up a scholarship. Shawana can say, next year I'm going to give $1,000 or $500 scholarship. Folks, that's something we all can do. I don't care if it's $200 scholarship. Give it in your name to some organization that's helping some young girl to be able to go to school or to do something. You don't have to wait. See, we wait on big organizations to do everything, but I don't care how small you are, we all have the ability to do something. We all can do something. I don't care what your income is, okay? So let's look at some scholarships, some mentoring program. You might just say, I would like to take 5 girls to Disneyland. I would like to take 5 girls to Universal Studio. Folks, there's so much we can do, and there's a lot of young people who, you can't hardly afford to go to these places now, Magic Mountain, none of these things. So what I'm saying is that's something that everybody can do. Okay, if you don't know where the girls are, call Miss Williams. She can give you the name of some girls that you can sponsor for a day.
Most
Okay.
definitely, Charles. That's beautiful.
So it's something we can do. Okay, we can also life skills program, teach budgeting, set up class. Oh my God, cooking, please. Ooh, help me somebody. Y'all. Teach these girls how to cook. I'm so sick of these little kids. My business is across the street from McDonald's. I see these kids going up getting breakfast. It irritates me. Anybody can cook breakfast in 15 minutes. You hear me? You can cook grits, make toast, cook egg, whatever in 15. And no, you can cook a breakfast in 15 minutes and feed your kids versus sending them to these places to eat, folks. Teach cooking. I bet you if we set up a cooking class, it would be packed out. Shawana, let's do that. Shawana ain't saying nothing about that. All she want to do is sell real estate.
Oh no, I said I can do that. I know how to cook.
Don't you think that's a good idea?
I am a great cook.
So,
I think all these things, Dr. Rosie, what you're talking about is the development of you as a person. It's not an accident you do all the things that you do. It's because growing up, you did the cleaning, you did the cooking, you did all those things, and you learned how to juggle everything. And that's what you do. When you hear a good idea, oh, I'm going to work on that. I like that idea. Or if you get a new book idea, oh, I like that. I'm going to work on it. And you actually set up the time, doing time block to make it happen. So I think teaching children how to do that, getting children out of the environment that they're in. I mean, I know people that live in Compton, people that live in Linwood, people that live in Hawthorne, people that live, all of them. Some people never even leave that area. They don't even know what it's like to move to just regular Los Angeles, because they're stuck in the area. So as mentors, leaders of like we are, we do need to help children get out of their comfort zone that they're used to, because this is what our parents were used to. We have to do something different for them in order for them to grow. I think it's a must, and I think organizations like Miss Williams is a must, because it helps people see life differently, and that's what we need.
So, Miss Williams, we want to set up a teaching a budget class for your group. I want to do that for your group. It's important to teach young people how to budget. And we want to do the other way to mitigate community engagement, foster safe spaces, mentoring program, extracurricular activity to build confidence, and community ties. Remember, Shawana, when they would always have like little fashion shows, teaching girls how to walk with poles.
I was in it.
Yeah.
I remember at 12 years old, I was so scared that the lady, my mentor, she's like, we're going to do a fashion show. You're going to go in there and do your thing. And I said, I'm so scared. I'm so scared. But you know what?
You?
Yeah, I was scared. I was so scared. But you know what made me not scared? And to this day, when I do my seminars, I come out to that song, and that's I'm Coming Out by Diana Ross. And I start to dance and sing, and my cousin always tells me, Shawana, I told you something. I said, what'd you tell me? You can't sing and you can't dance, but you know what? I do it every time. I do it every time. But you know what? It gives you that freedom feeling, and you don't have to feel so closed off or feeling any scaredness, because there's nothing to be scared of. You create your own scared stories. Yes, we need to do
that. Like in schools, fashion shows, they don't have plays. It's so much that our kids don't get involved in. Now, health and safety resources. We can offer accessible health care, mental health service, and safety net for vulnerable girls. That's something Dr. Andrea talked about too. Leadership development. Encourage young girls to take leadership roles and pursue their passion through empowerment initiatives. So, folks, that's something we all can do, and I hope those who listen to the show today will write down some of the things you can do. Give a $100 scholarship. I don't care what you can do. Just do something to show some girl that I appreciate you. You might say, you know what, I want to pay to put $500 toward child care for a young girl in the community. Do you realize that could be 2 weeks or 3 weeks of babysitting or child care? Folks, it's a little thing that adds up. We often think if we don't have $1,000, we don't have $1 million, we don't have anything to give, but you do. We all have something to give, and now that we're in the holiday season, we're in a season where people are thinking more than ever about giving. Folks, let's look at some gift you can give. Why don't you reach out to someone and say, I'll tell you what, I want to give you, how much you pay a week for child care? I want to pay your January child care fee. Come on, folks, there's something we can do. And I think I just got a message that we do have a caller. So, caller, go ahead and open your mic. We're close to running out of time, but open up your mic and give us your question. But, folks, there's something you can do. And meanwhile, all of you out there who have not done your living trust, will, power of attorney, don't have your estate, your house in order, folks, when you leave home each day, you expect to return. But if not, is your personal business affairs in order? Folks, you want to make that happen, you want to call me. Yeah, call me, your business doctor and estate planner at 323-750-3592. 323-750-3592. We coming close to top of the close of this hour. I want to close it out by having Miss Williams to give us your final thoughts, Miss Williams. And this show is going to re-air tonight at 6 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Yes, and 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. You can go to Innerlight Radio at innerlightradio.com. INNER, innerlightradio.com, and you can hear this show all over again. It's William. Give us your final thoughts. We really appreciate having you today, and I think we'll open up an opportunity for people to realize that there's something we all can do to assist this journey of empowering and supporting our girls.
I'm thankful that you allowed me to come on today, but because we do plan on changing the narrative, we will change society. One person at a time, and God's ladies in charge will be in the front of that. With your help, Doctor, we really appreciate you taking the lead on this. And I've been a part of this for so long, but for others to invest in our community is saying a lot. You know, we're looking at change right now. We can either remain the same or make a step forward, and that's necessary. And I thank you, and we're committed to changing the atmosphere. So thank you very much, Doctor.
Well, I thank you for what you're doing, and thank you for coming on and sharing with us. Shawana, I appreciate your thoughts. And Keith, it was so important to hear from you, because sometimes we talking about women and girls issues. We think they are just women and girls issues. But everything we talk about women are men issues too, because these women and these girls are significant persons in your life. And you need to know what you can do to help and strengthen them.
Guess who the most significant female in a man's life is? His mother.
Yeah.
I always tell men, if you want successful children, you got to pick the right mother. Okay?
Wow.
That's the most important. That's the most important. If you got a boy, the most important person you have to pick for him is his mother. Okay.
It matters.
Yeah, and that's really good. I tell people, when you're dating, before you get married, meet the man's mother. You know. And get
Well, it
real
matters,
friendly.
and how he treats his mother matters.
Get real friendly. Get real friendly with her. She gonna tell you all the little dirty little secrets about him.
How she raised him is going to be reflected in who he is. Okay.
Absolutely. So, folks, always, men, whenever you hear of a program, we're doing a segment on women's health. You know, called Meet the Relationship Expert. That's myself, and we have OBGYN doctor. We have done it 2 months. It's been packed. 190 some people on that seminar, that webinar, because we encourage men to learn about women health issues. Because when a woman have an issue, husband, it's your issue too. Okay, we have to understand how we are knitted, how we intertwine with everything we do in our life in general. If a male health issue, it's an issue for women too. So I want people to throw out gender and learn information about people. That is so important. Folks, the clock on the wall said that's all. Miss Delores William, again, I want to thank you. Shawan, I want to thank you. Keith, and all of those on board who've been listening. Dr. Andre, who faithfully listened to our show. And make sure you call other people. Tell them to turn off Channel 2, Channel 5, 7, and all these crazy talk shows. And you need to start listening to some of these podcasts, because these are the ones who are giving you the real 911 on what's happening in you and about you. So I'm just saying, you can always tune into InnerlightRadio.com. In fact, the show that's coming up following this show, Mr. Lynn Moser always have excellent topic. Had one on education that I want to get him to get to me so I can bicycle it to my show and to show it over here. Okay, so we're going to start doing that. When we say collaboration, there are other people hosting shows. They need to take the best of my shows and bicycle on their shows. Send me the best of their shows. We got to get information out today like never before. Our community depends on it. Folks, I'm going to say good day to you guys. You guys have a great day. Same time next week, same place. Be safe.